Hey guys, and welcome to my tutorial on how to create energy swirls. First of all, I'm gonna create a sphere, which is gonna be our emitter. And right away, let's draw a pop network to create our simulation. Good, we have our particles. Now let's go here, and let's make them move. I'm gonna use pop wind for that. Let's set it to 1.72. As expected, they're flying away, but it's okay. We'll solve it. I'm gonna use pop-up. And very important thing, we need to select in the inputs tab first context geometry, because we need the information that this sphere stores its points position. And since it's connected to the first input of our pop network, I select first context geometry, not second. Good. Let's create minimum position. Yeah, this method, first part of this method, is the same as I've already shown in my previous tutorial, one of the previous tutorials I made. Okay, we connect it to the position, and by doing this, we'll limit the points to the sphere's surface, you see. Yeah, it's good, but we don't want them to stick to it. We want them to fly somewhere here, near it, near the sphere. We just need to modify it a little. I use subtract, and also I add what we got here to the position, and plug it in. Wait, yeah. Just memorize this method. Just memorize this. It's pretty simple. Also, I need a multiplier because, well, the strength is too high. I need to decrease it. Let's set it to something like this. And yeah, the bigger the value is, the closer the points to the surface. The closer they are to the surface. Yeah, it's working pretty well. I'm satisfied with this. The only thing is that the amount of particles is too low. Let's bring it up. Let's disable constant activation. I don't need it. Impulse count, let's say 250,000. And I don't want our particle number to be more than 1 million. So also let's uncheck this. And maximum points shouldn't be more than 1 million. And we check it, and it's already set to 1 million. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's already doing something, but we can't really see if it's good or not. We need to see it in the render view. Let's split our window and select whatever render engine you use. I will show you the way that it's done in Redshift. Okay, let's go to materials and create our material. And assign it to the particles. Okay, oh, emission color. We need to select, I don't know, something like blue, yeah. And the strength should be 4 maybe. Also here, since it's Redshift, we need to choose, and since we're using particles, go to Redshift OBJ, particles, render objects as particles. And global scale multiplier, I'll set it to 0.01. Okay. It's too bright because we don't have alpha. Let's create our alpha. alpha first, because we will have multiple alpha layers. We will create our alpha attribute, and first let's use constant value. Let's say 0.1, and yeah, nothing changes because Redshift doesn't recognize the alpha attribute. We need to create it here in the material network. Alpha is a scalar float attribute, so I'm going to use rs scalar user data. I think you can also use rs point attribute. You see it has two outputs: color, which is vector, and scalar. I think it's the same. Let's check it. Also, attribute name should be alpha. And we connect it to opacity. Yeah, good. Let's, by the way, check it with the particle attribute. Alpha. Yeah, it's absolutely the same, but well, just about what you like more. Okay, we already got our swirls, which are pretty good, but it's not over. Let's also create a noise that will drive our alpha channel movement, so that it's not that uniform. For this, I'm gonna create attribute noise. Wait, yes, attribute noise, and it's gonna be float. I don't need vector information. Let's call it noise, and I'll leave the settings by default, but animation should be checked, so the noise is animated. Okay, good, but we need to apply it to our alpha. Let's do it. Let's copy this point wrangle, and instead of the constant value that we have here, we will multiply like this, and let's say it will equal to, let's create a channel ramp. Channel ramp, let's call it ramp, and attribute noise. Okay, better, but more. We need more brightness. Let's increase the emission to 15, maybe. Yes, or yeah, that works. It's gonna be called alpha noise. Yeah, it's quite good. Well, the swirls are not very distinguishing. See, we can solve it. I think, by the way, this is the main part of the tutorial, so I'm gonna show you the way to make the swirls more distinguishing. First, create pop-up, and it's very simple. We don't even need to choose inputs here, because we're gonna work with only these particles that are emitted in our pop network. Okay, to do it, we need our velocity, normalize it, and if you know, or well, if you don't know, the pop wind creates an attribute called target V. You can see it here, target V. And well, if we disconnect it, we don't have it. So we can use this attribute, the target V attribute, to make the swirls more distinguishing. We just need add our current velocity to it. Let's do it. Let's bring target V attribute. We don't have it in our geometry VOP global, so I'll use bind for it. target v, and it's a vector attribute. Let's add them and plug it into velocity. Now let's see what's changed. Yeah, it has changed and it's better, much better. Let's compare it actually. The frame number 25. Let's disable it and jump to this frame. Yeah, I think it is better. But sometimes you don't get this kind of results by using noise. Sometimes it's more messy, you know, and in such situations this pop-up method can help you a lot. By the way, let's maybe increase the amplitude. Let's see what happens if we do it. Oh yeah, I see, it just spreads. But it's so cool, looks very cool. We can do one more thing. We can use pop replicate to create another stream. Connect it as a reference stream, select point, and life expectancy shouldn't be that high. It should be like 1.5 and maybe 0.1. Also, the constant birth rate shouldn't be that high. It should be like 2 because, well, your computer might not handle it. In the attributes, we don't need to inherit anything. And no velocity as well. Let's copy the pop wind and our limitation. Okay. Let's see what we've done. You see, it creates this, it just fills the space, you know. It adds more volume, it becomes something like a cloud, you know. So if you need this kind of look, it might help. Also, I think, let's increase the brightness, by the way. We can do it, we can set it to 40. And let's use bloom as well to make it beautiful. Yeah, very beautiful. Whoa. Really cool. We can also play around with constant value of alpha. Let's set it to, I don't know, 0.03. Let's decrease it. No, maybe 0.06. Well, yeah, it's up to you to play around with the values. I just showed you the main concept, and yeah, that's all. So I hope the tutorial was useful for you. If you like the video, leave a like. If you don't like, leave dislike. And if you know other methods to make it more beautiful, I don't know, just share it with me in comments. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Hey, also I forgot to mention, if it becomes too messy for your taste, like here, you see in the render view it's too messy. You can well, just first disconnect this stream to leave only the swirls. Also, you can well, I've already done it, decrease the life expectancy to 1 or even lower value, and also you can increase this value to bigger one, something like, I don't know, yeah, something like this. It will keep the points of this stream closer to the sphere, and at the center the sphere will be brighter, and it kind of looks cool. I'll show you it now. Okay, you can see it here. Yeah, this is controversial, but just render the animation to see if it's good for you or not. So this is all for today. Good luck with your setup.